Are you blocked? Are you stuck in your mind? And because you're stuck, you cannot go out there and create. You cannot attract those elite clients. Or maybe you feel stuck at a confidence level and not really putting yourself out there in a powerful way in your life. If so, you're absolutely going to love my guest because she's going to be sharing with you the formula for fabulous fulfillment with a twist. So stay tuned.
Frankie Lee, dimmi, qual è senso della vita?
The meaning of life is to live la dolce vita, which is the formula for fabulous living.
Hi, my name is Heather Picken, and welcome to the La Dolce Vita Show, the formula for fabulous living. I'm the catalyst in helping you to be more confident, create your dream business, and attract elite clients and live a fabulous life. Here's Heather helping you to upgrade your life to
Fabulous. Upgrade your life to fabulous. Right, Frankie? You're fabulous.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of La Dolce Vita, the formula for fabulous living. Yes, I always like to say that with my best Italian voice. And today, I love today's topic because we're going to be talking about the formula for fabulous fulfillment. And this is a little twist. We're going to talk about a little sex. Well, not exactly, but it's going to be a little bit playful. And I want to welcome my guest, Monica Sawyer, to the show. Monica, thank you so much for being my guest.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here, Heather. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And I love this topic because, it really is fascinating. And it really is the formula to align you in making powerful decisions, being more creative, really being a catalyst in your life. And before we get into the juicy subject, I want you to take us back to the moment where you discovered this process that really allowed you to be, showing up more powerful in who you are and what you're doing in the world, because I totally believe that there is a formula for everything. There's a formula for success. There's a formula for relationships. There's a formula for landing that ideal job. And so if you could share with our audience, a little bit about that story and some of the things that really transformed in your business and in your life.
Okay. Oh, I'd be happy to. So actually, this goes way back. So I was born in the Midwest, and I was born in an all-white town. So ever since I was very, very young, I was horribly bullied and tormented and humiliated. And it was because I was different. And I learned very early on that I was going to be alone in this world, that people didn't like me, and that life was going to be hard. And so as I got older, I became very, very strong, because I knew I had to handle the world myself. But in my teenage years, I really got that I was strong in the way that I was fighting the world. In other words, it was me against the world. If I was going to survive, I had to be strong. So it was like this survival fear kind of strength. And even in high school, I had horrible nicknames. When I was a child, my nickname was Shitface.
Oh my gosh.
I know. In high school, it became Big Nose or Ape Arms. So just horrible, horrible nicknames. And by the time I was about 15 or 16, I had just had enough. Like I wanted to fit in. I wanted to have friends. I didn't want to keep struggling. Coincidentally, right after my sophomore year in high school, I went to India to hang out for the summer. And I was walking down the street one day at a book fair, and I saw the book Think and Grow Rich.
I love that book.
Yes, right? By Napoleon Hill.
Yes.
And I also saw a book that was called Tantra, The Secret of Creating Everything You Want Using Your Sexual Energy.
Ooh, I love that.
I know. And so here I am, this 16-year-old girl going, oh my God, So in India, they're very conservative now, right? So I had to hide this book.
Yeah.
And my uncle comes up and is like, what did you buy? I was like, oh, I think you're rich, So of course I paid for the book, but I stuck it under my coat and slipped off. My uncle knew nothing. So I went home and I started reading Napoleon Hill first and got to chapter 11. You know what chapter 11 is about, right?
Right. Sexual transmutation.
It's about sexual transmutation. And I was completely intrigued. So here I am, a 16-year-old girl. I've been bullied and alone my whole life. And now I find out that I can use my mind to change my life and influence people. And I find out that I can use all these weird sexual feelings that I'm having to create success. So that was really, really intriguing. And then, of course, I had this other book that I had found, right, that was just interesting. And I realized, it's like the universe has never turned its back on me. It's like it brought those two books together. And now I had this other book, and I realized that this study of sexual transmutation had been happening in India for 5,000 years. And we called it Tantra. And this is all about aligning your whole self and then using your sexual energy to step into your power.
And so I just want to interrupt you, Monica, so that people make the distinction. We're not talking Tantra is not about actually having sex. It's really about using your quote unquote sexual energy to manifest and attract and align yourself with what you want.
Absolutely. And that was the next piece that I was going to say is that I started a Tantra practice on my own at the age of 16. I did not need a partner into that practice for about 9 years. So really, Tantra is about using the sexual energy. Like you say, it's not about having sex. Now, when you look at Tantra, if you go back to the original Vedic study of Tantra, it's the original yoga. So it's about breath, movement, and sound. And it's all about using the different parts of your life to empower yourself and center yourself. So Tantra is the weaving. The word Tantra actually means to weave. And it's the weaving of the physical with the spiritual. So in the Western world, we think that those two things are separate, that you can't really bring a spiritual practice into your real life. But Tantra is all about making it all the same thing. So you have all that power and you can utilize all your resources to be the very best you. Now, the reality is that one of the best resources, one of the most powerful resources God has given us is our sexual energy. It invigorates us. It motivates us. It juices us. It makes us look younger. It makes us more attractive. It makes us more creative. And it helps us to think better if we use it right. Now, if we don't use it right and we exploit it or we scatter it, it shows up in all sorts of weird ways, which is what we see in a lot of the Tantra practices that you see in the West, which are very sexually based and focused. You see a lot of sort of weird things happening around that, right? But if you were to use it correctly to really empower, then you have so much more possible. There's so much more.
I love that. I love that. And let me interrupt you here because as you're talking about this, I'm thinking about, let's say a situation where a woman is in her business and she's stuck. I know, thinking about that years ago, the minute that I was fearful around money or freaking out because I didn't have enough, I would shut down. My whole world would shut down.
Right.
And the last thought that I was ever thinking of, being sexual or, you know what I mean? Kind of using that or really understanding that there's a process that I could use, because as women, we're very emotional creatures and we tend to shut down when things aren't working. So let's just say woman in her business, she's in that place of despair. How would she use this specifically in her business so that she could feel more aligned, more empowered, be more creative? Can you give us an example?
Absolutely. So, the practice is really about centering. So, when you're doing a practice, obviously your power around it is going to increase, right? But if any moment that you're feeling lost, scared, in fear, if you can use your breath to ground, so take really deep breath, ground into the ground, feel all your energy going down and attaching with the earth, and then feel as if there's a waterfall coming from above and have it sprinkle down through you as if it's a waterfall, and just wash all that fear down through all your chakras, and then have it just flood down into the earth and out of you. So you're just kind of washing everything down into the earth, and then Mother Earth can recycle it and use it for fertilizer for other things. But when I'm in a state of true fear and I'm not able to connect, that's the thing that I do, is I just take a few moments and I take a few deep breaths, and I just imagine that I'm cleaning all my chakras, I'm cleaning every cell in my body, and I'm just washing everything that's not serving me down into the earth. So that's a quick and easy. There's a lot of other things we can do, but that's a quick and easy, especially if you don't have, you haven't really developed the practice yet.
Yeah.
I
love that, because it's so powerful. I really want women to get this, and anyone else that's listening, even if you're male, is that there are tools and resources out there available to you to change your state. We're talking about changing your mental state so that you can ground yourself and open yourself up to new opportunities. Because one of the things I always say is that, you can't create from a place of fear. You cannot attract those elite clients if you're in that place of doom and gloom. And I wish I had these tools. I wish I knew about these tools years ago when I was just in a funk, because I would just be like a deer in headlights and nothing would happen. And you've got to change your emotional state in order to shift. Or if you're in a relationship, you're having issues there, you've got to change your state. Nothing will happen unless you do that. And I was imagining, as you were saying the waterfall, I was imagining like you could probably do this in the shower, as the water's, pouring over your head, just imagine grounding yourself, centering yourself. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, definitely using the literal to get the non-literal, right? So that's awesome. I just want to finish the story really quick so you can sort of see how this impacted my life. When I came back to school in the 11th grade, it was really amazing. Nothing had changed other than my mental attitude and my ability to move my energy. Literally, by the end of the year, I had been nominated for student government and elected into a leadership role in my school by people who bullied me the year before. So really get that who we are on the inside and how we present on the outside does have a huge impact on how the world responds to us, right? And it also clears up our own fear. So in this instance, I was able now to step out, to be present, and to allow myself to become a leader and to attract people into seeing me as a leader, right? So these tools are really about aligning everything inside of you so that you can manage your emotions. You can juice your excitement and your passion. You can be more creative. And the most exciting piece of all is you become really charismatic and powerful and magnetic. And when we're talking about magnetism, we're talking about magnetic to people, but we're also talking about magnetic to the universe. So the things that you want now start to flow easily. Now, when we're stuck in fear or anger or any of those things that block our chakras, things can't flow in as easily. But as soon as you let them go and you're just allowing yourself to be open and magnetic in your very best self, now the universe can respond to your requests and your desires. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I love that. And it kind of reminds me of the story when I wanted to charge more in my business. I was not charging what I really felt that I was worth. I was
Mm-hmm.
too in the fear, and I really want to share this with people. When you're in the fear, you're going to attract fear. You're going to attract those clients that are a pain to work with. And so I had to shift my energy. This is all about shifting your energy, shifting your mental state. And so I went into my own practice to change my energy. I'm like, I know this is how much I'm worth. I'm like, I have a $30,000 program. I know it's worth every single penny and then some. And so I just focused my mental state and was able to get that because I was showing up in a different way. So I feel like what you're teaching and what you're showing our audience today can be applied in your business, charging what you're worth, getting into that state and just aligning yourself, embodying that. Because like you said, you got elected, because of how you were showing up as a leader. And you've got to be a leader in your business if you want to do extraordinary things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And how we show up is everything. I mean, I have some coursework called Tantra for Leadership. And what we talk about is the inner leader versus the outer leader. And so much of what we learn in our culture is about the outer leader, how to present, how to look, how to talk, how to enunciate and project. And right, there's all these things, how to negotiate and how to set goals. So there's all these things that are externally based in sort of how we learn leadership in our culture. But the reality is, all of that is great and will work to a degree, but you can 10x its power by creating the true inner leader that is fully aligned with your vision and your goal and your desires and your passions and your loves. And once you're fully aligned with that, all that other stuff is completely maximized. So now you're in partnership. It's the world with you. And you're putting your most powerful self forward, right?
I love that. And I really want people to get this, especially when it comes to business, since I work with a lot of people that see themselves as leaders, getting their product out there, their service out there, and impacting the world, because now more than ever with technology, there's other businesses that are the same. If you're a coach, consultant, practitioner, whatever it is that you're doing, the question is, how are you going to show up differently? How are you going to put your message out there in a way that, is magnetic? And you do that exactly what you're talking about, really turning on that different energy that allows you to attract those clients instead of being like everyone else, sounding the same. Being same in this world won't get you to an extraordinary level of success and empowerment.
Right. That's so true. It's actually really interesting. And, here I am. I've been practicing this since I was 16. So it's been many, many years. I'm not going to tell you how many, but, but it's been many years, right? And even I fall off the track. I, in my business, have been pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to remember or learn all the things that I'm supposed to be learning, how to market on Facebook, how to create packages, charging the right amount, all these things, right? Became really stressed out and really bogged down. And then last month, I went on vacation for a whole month and released. It's amazing. So, right, sometimes you just have to kind of step out of it.
Absolutely.
And I just released and I flowed and I got back into my playful self. And I came back, and I'm telling you, I've been back 2 weeks. And I'm telling you the number of clients I've gotten. I've gotten 3 publicists call me to try to try to sign me so that I can do bigger things, right?
I love it.
All this stuff is coming and happening. But it's because I came back to myself. I remembered, who am I? What is it that I'm trying to present? What is it that I want the world to learn and see and feel? And what is it about me that I really want to be? Who is it that I want to be in the world? And what I want to be is joyful and playful and passionate and relaxed. And I don't want to feel that really heavy stuff, right?
Absolutely.
I'm still going to have to do those things, right? The fact that we have to run our businesses doesn't go away. We still have to act, right? But we can act from our very best selves and really love it. Right? And when you love it, is when magic starts to happen.
I love that. It speaks so beautifully to the mission that you're on, and helping other people, really allow themselves to be who they are. And that's where I feel we stifle ourselves when we try to be someone that we're not. A leader that is most authentic is one that will attract those people. They will attract those people into their lives, into their business, because of who they are. And what this interview is demonstrating is like giving you the tools to be you, giving yourself permission
To be you!
and to do extraordinary things.
Right.
The formula is so simple, yet we tend to get in our heads because we look at the outside world and we feel that it's dictating how we should react, whereas it's really about what we're thinking and feeling that is going to be a projection on the outside to attract, what exactly we're looking for and
Right.
showing up in the world. And the fact that you went on vacation, it's just, you kind of let go, and I'm just not going to figure this out, and I'm going to come back recharged. And it's just a perfect example, of what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Yeah. And it's also a perfect example to me about don't lose hope when I fall off the track. I mean, no matter how good you are, you're going to have bad days.
Absolutely.
That's the way life is. My book, Choose Bliss, is about choosing bliss. It doesn't mean that because you're in that state of bliss, you don't have bad days. We all have bad days, but we're more resilient, right? If you do some things to really take care of yourself and feed yourself and fill your own energy up, then you're more resilient, you're more powerful, you come back to your center much more quickly. And then you can deal with issues in a much more productive way rather than having the freakouts, right?
Yeah.
Which sometimes emotionally we get these like, ah, right? And even if you're having those, again, you come back to center.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love what you say. It's not all about being positive, and you won't have days that are, because I don't promote that.
Right.
There is a balance in the universe, and it's really about mastering who you are and mastering your emotions and having the tools and strategies to do that. It's like I work with elite clients all the time that go through some massive changes and challenges in their business, and they've got to be able to navigate around that. So I think that's really helpful. And I just love the work that you're doing. I love how you're showing up there in such a powerful way and being a powerful force. And I just want to share with the audience, when you look at your story, it really is that story that you decided to take that story and not make it who you are, as a way of empowering other people. And that's where we can really learn the formula to be more successful, to feel more fulfilled, to look at what you've been through, all those trials and tribulations. And I remember growing up, I was bullied because I went to a different school for a brief period of time, and that did not feel good. And so it's just so important. I just really want to express that to people out there. If you're doubting yourself, if you have other people that are naysayers, that you can do it, but it comes from your mind, aligning your mind to your vision. So Monica, before we go, is there any last words or thoughts that you want to share with our viewers and listeners that are, looking to really embody this and what you're talking about, using this tantra or using, what Napoleon Hill called sexual transmutation?
Yeah. This power was given to us. It is a gift from God to us, and we have the right to use it. So many people are afraid of their sexuality and their sexual power. And I understand that because sometimes it does get misused. But it's a gift from God that you can use to be your very best self. So start doing that. But do it authentically and with good intention, and learn the tools that will help you to really utilize that. So that's what I would say.
I love that. Well, Monica, thank you so much for being my guest.
Sure.
And I just want to let everyone know all the books that Monica was talking about. We'll put those down in the show notes below. So if you're listening on iTunes or over on my channel video, you can get those links there. And I just want to close this out to everyone to say, listen, go ahead.
I just want to say I have a free gift for you.
Yeah. So, by all means, what is your free gift?
So when I wrote Choose Bliss, I had to get it out in time for a particular speaking engagement. So the chapter on Tantra did not make it in there. The book is amazing and it has a huge amount of tools, and I very much encourage people to get that. If you want to learn more about Tantra specifically, the chapter that did not make it, I'm now giving away to people. So it's called The Power Within, and you can get it by going to tantraforleadership.com and just request it on that site and it'll be sent off to you. So that's my free gift to you guys.
Awesome. And that will be in the show notes as well. Well, Monica, again, thank you so much for being my guest today. I want everyone to click on that link, go get that free gift. I think that's going to be empowering and inspiring. And, just know that you have the tools and resources to change your life, change your emotional state, whatever's going on, whatever your freak out moments happening, you have that. And there are people here before you that have mastered it. And so there's a formula to being fulfilled. There's a formula for success. So hopefully this inspires you. Take care, everyone, and have a fabulous day. So if you found this show to be fabulous, please share with your fabulous friends, rate, review, and subscribe on YouTube and iTunes. And I'll make sure I take a beatbox lesson, right? Or give my little chihuahua a bone. That's me. Fabulous.